What's good, folks? This is an NBA Draft 2013 review, real quick, man. Man, it just went down a couple minutes ago. I was watching it live. The Cleveland Cavaliers, for what, the second time in 3 years, gets the first overall pick. Or I don't know. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. I mean, look. Yeah, I'm a little jaded. Look, I'm a little jaded because I'm a Washington Wizards fan. So, last year we had the third overall pick. It turned into Brad Beal, and he was pretty darn good. Very solid. Has a high ceiling. Um, but it just factors into the whole argument of, is the NBA draft a big conspiracy, man? Is this a rigged thing? And I'll say no. The reason why I say no is because there's other teams that were in the draft that really needed that pick way, 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 way more than the Cavaliers did. And I don't know if this is just like a, what I'm saying, like a no homo to the, any dudes that hear this, but for the Cavaliers losing LeBron James, we talk about like a franchise imploding, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers haven't been relevant since LeBron James had that jersey on. Let's all be real. Um, but now they have Kyrie Irving, they have Thompson, they have a couple other guys, and now they're potentially going to have a big man in Noel. So it's just one of those things where the NBA just is, I don't know if they're just trying to get Cleveland back. Like in this last decade, they've had what, three overall picks in the last decade, if I'm not mistaken. Like, wasn't LeBron James, drafted in 2003 or 2002? So within the last decade and a half or what have you, they've had three. This is their third number one overall pick. Just think about that. And a team like Orlando, who probably needed it more, the Bobcats needed it a little bit more. You could just tell by process of elimination that New Orleans wasn't going to get it. The Suns needed it more. It was just one of those things where it just makes you question the integrity of the NBA draft. But it's supposed to be random. The Wizards were slotted in, um, picking around what, maybe the ninth or the eighth pick. So you can't say that it's a fixed type ordeal, but maybe they should probably implement one of those things where the NFL is like the worst record gets the automatic pick. But then it's one of those things where it's integrity. It's integrity of the game that might come into question. Players might tank it or teams might tank it, and that's a whole nother argument right there. But it's definitely one of those things that needs to be, brought up when it comes to this NBA draft lottery, because it's like, the Cavaliers. They were. Let's just say it like this: they weren't good enough to make the playoffs, but they weren't terrible enough to get the first overall pick. You understand what I'm trying to say? The Suns. I think that the Suns or Orlando definitely were the two worst teams in the league, and they desperately needed a game changer like a Noel or Otto Porter, or maybe a Alex Len. I know those, I know those two guys, last two guys, because I'm in a DC area, so of course I'm going to know the local players. But this draft isn't particularly deep, so my team is definitely going to get one of the star players out of this draft, which is a good thing. But it just makes you wonder, and I'm not. Even if my team had won the draft lottery, it just makes you wonder, like, you know, maybe they should probably implement one of those systems where, the worst team gets the first overall pick. Kinda kind of shooing away with the lottery, man. I mean, it's just one of those things where you sit there and you look at this and it's like, this team, think about it, this team over the last 11 years, 12 years for sure, has had the #1 overall pick. This is their third time having it in the last 12 years. All right. And like, I don't, I'm not calling nobody out, but maybe they had, the lucky clover, or shove somebody out there and maybe you get the pick as a good luck thing. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it makes you raise an eyebrow. But like I said, I mean, like I said, there shouldn't be a conspiracy talk, because like I said, I mean, you know, like last year was, New Orleans going through a whole bunch of stuff, a brand new owner. If the Kings had won it, it would definitely would have been bad. I think that one of the only teams, or the two teams that I could say that if they had won the draft lottery, it probably would have seemed like it was a normal thing, like the Suns winning it or the Pistons winning it. It definitely wouldn't have brought up any kind of a question if one of those two teams had won the draft lottery, or definitely with Orlando winning. Or like I said, any team that had a worse record than the Cavaliers winning it definitely probably wouldn't have brought up any questions. But I was expecting for a team like the Kings to have it, because it was the last time the Kings had a first overall pick, or the Suns. I don't think that the Suns have ever had a first overall pick. So I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on it, man. I think that undoubtedly Noel is going to be going first overall, and then I think Otto Porter is probably going to go um, second to the Orlando, and then the Wizards might go after Alex Len if Otto Porter is not there too. So that's what my top three is for the NBA draft. I don't know if I'm going to do an NBA draft review. I just want to do a review on this because there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories going out there about the NBA draft, and I just wanted to just throw in my thoughts about it, man. I know this video is going long, so I'm gonna cut it off. Y'all have a nice day. Check out the rest of my videos, man. I ain't hard to find.